Welcome back, everyone. Sorry to disappoint. In today's video there's not going to be any sort of shooting going on, but what I did, for those of you who don't follow me over on Facebook, is the other day I put out a question, basically what questions do you want me to answer that I haven't answered yet. Certain ones I'm just not going to answer because they're entire videos, and I actually plan on doing videos on that subject. So like, for instance, what's your opinion on shooting steel through a AR, steel cased ammo and steel jacketed ammo? So that's a whole video I'm going to do, so I'm going to leave the big, huge questions like that off to the side, and so that way I can provide more data, but just general questions is what I'm going to try to answer here. I got 103 responses, that was 2 days ago, questions I should say, so I'm not going to be able to do them all, but I got a timer out and we're going to see how many I can get through in a reasonable amount of time. So without further ado, what's your advice on gun care products? Generally speaking, break-free CLP is kind of my default. It works, it's worked for a long time. That said, there's other good products out there that I've talked about here on the channel, like Fire Clean, Frog Lube, whatever. They have the pros and cons, like anything, and I've talked about those in those videos. But my sort of default answer is break-free CLP. It works. If you're shooting rifles and you start to have copper buildup, you know, I use Shooter's Choice, I believe it is, foaming bore cleaner, and that stuff really does a good job getting the sort of the copper fouling, excuse me, out of your barrels and making them get back to the accuracy where they need to be. But that's pretty much it. There are, like I said, pros and cons, and just throwing this out there while we're in the beginning of the video, just so you guys know, like, I don't take money or anything from these companies. Whenever I do reviews, I don't do that. And if I don't like their product, I don't review it. I just send it back. So if they sent it to me, if I bought it, then I talk about it. So like when I say something in a video, I'm not just saying it. That's something I get, like, sort of, I don't want to say accused of, but people ask me, they're like, did you really mean that? I'm like, yeah, I mean, I really meant it. If I said it, I meant it. So just putting that out there. Alright, next question. Plate carrier, chest rig, and drop leg holster / war belt. Which would you consider user-friendly in a SH hits the fan type scenario? In terms of versatility, that's how you wrote it. So, two different things. Number one, which one's more versatile? No doubt the war belt, because you can take it on and off. But which one is a better option? Plate carrier, for sure. Because you know, we talk about accuracy, and I have a lot of instructional videos out there on how to shoot well, but the first rule of accuracy is don't get shot. If you're shot and you're bleeding, your accuracy is very highly degraded, more so than breathing, trigger pull, anything like that. So not getting shot, not having holes in you is the number one rule to accuracy and defeating the threat. So in terms of practicality, the plate carrier, it sucks. It's not as versatile, but it's the one you want, for sure. Okay, here's the scenario. You have 0 guns, little to 0 experience, and want something for home defense. What's the first thing you think about getting? Pistol, shotgun, or rifle? Rifle. If you guys didn't watch it, I'll put a link here to my home defense basics video where I talk about a lot of the stuff in more detail. But for the for the inexperienced or the average shooter, if you will, or gun owner, a carbine, in my opinion, is the best choice for home defense. Pistols are fine, and there's a lot of people that have defended their homes with pistols. I do have a home defense pistol as well as a rifle, just for what it's worth. But yeah, rifles, much more lethality that you bring to the fight. You're able to get rounds on target much more quickly than you would with, say, like a shotgun that has limited capacity and may have more recoil, which is especially an issue for inexperienced shooters. But the shotgun's a great weapon. You just have to know your limitations. But rifle, and I talk about which rifles in that video, so check that video out if you have more questions on that. Do I reload or buy my own ammo? If so, where do I buy my own ammo? Right now I do not reload. I plan on making that part of the channel, though, time permitting. But I buy it from, if you guys follow me on Facebook, all those links I post, a lot of times I buy them before I post the links to make sure I get some. So those are the places I buy it from. It's out in the open. I don't have any special deals or anything like that, so that's where I get it from. What's your EDC? Everyday carry. So I typically, I mean, this is kind of I do veer off and carry other guns at the time, but 9 times out of 10, it is one of the three. It's either a Glock 26, a Shield 9 or 40, almost always the 9, and occasionally, like when just weather or outfits prohibit anything else, the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 380. Excuse me. It's almost always one of those three, without question. More often than not, it's the Glock 26. Okay, don't know if you've covered this in the past, but who has been your favorite instructors that you trained with? Which classes in particular did you take the most from? So I've had a lot of good civilian instructors, and their names that a lot of you guys know, but the last part of the question there, which classes in particular did I take the most from? So during my military experience in the Army, I had the opportunity, I had a commander at the time who was part of the asymmetric warfare group. Well, he just came from there. And he really encouraged his soldiers to go take these courses, and pulled a lot of strings to get us in there. So I went through a basic carbine course there, which was sort of to take you from sort of the basic soldier skills to some more advanced skills, tactics type of things. And that was an excellent course. Really well taught. And the sort of story of that is I ended up winning. Everything was competition based, and I ended up winning that class, and I was #1. When I graduated. Not to brag on myself, but to the second part of the story is that allowed me to keep taking more and more courses that the asymmetric warfare group offered. And then, beyond that, I took much more advanced classes due to that experience, and got a lot of really good training that a lot of regular soldiers don't get. I guess you could say average soldiers. Not that I was super soldier or anything, but I got a lot more training just because I kept doing well. And when you do well, if you've ever been in the military, commanders like to put you out front. And so I'm like, this is my soldier, he's doing great. OER bullet. So so I got an opportunity to do a lot of that. And like I said, I've had a lot of great civilian instructors, but the one I've taken the most from was those asymmetric warfare group classes. They're very good. If you guys are soldiers, or if you have soldiers that work for you, try to get them in there. It's good stuff. I think they're still offered. I honestly don't know, but I think they are. What are your dogs' names? So the white one that you guys see, the white boxer, his name is Colt, and the brown and white one, his name is Glock. Okay, so this one you guys probably aren't going to like, but that's okay, I have my reasons for it. So tell us about your military experience. Okay, so like I said on my bio page, I've served in both the Air Force and the Army. I don't really want to get too much into it, and here's kind of my thought process behind it. There's two reasons, and I've thought about this before because people ask me about it all the time. Okay, first reason being like OPSEC. So like, let's hypothetically say I was and I wasn't, but let's say I was a Marine that went into Fallujah during the surge to take down the city, and I said that. Well, there's an OPSEC issue with that, in my opinion, because obviously there's a lot of immigrants that came from Iraq after the war, during and after the war, and I mean, let's get real. There's people that still want to kill those guys. So that's kind of an OPSEC reason where I don't want to talk about what I did too much in public. And then the other reason is I don't think it really applies. And what I mean by that is sort of the skills apply, but let's say I was a Delta Force operator, and I wasn't. So let's say I was a Delta Force operator, right? And I was like Tier 1, super high speed operator dude. Would that really matter when I was reviewing, an AR bulk carrier group? No, it wouldn't. It would be no different than if I was like a supply clerk, and I wasn't a supply clerk either. But so I don't really know that it matters, and that's kind of why I don't really talk about it. Those two reasons, and that's pretty much it there. So one day that'll probably change, kind of as the years go by, and sort of the OPSEC reason is put to the side a little bit. But yeah, so I don't really talk about that much. I know you guys are annoyed by that, and that's okay. When you do YouTube, you put yourself out there a lot, and certain things you just want to keep private, I guess you could say. So, but I wasn't like dishonorably discharged, or I have nothing to be embarrassed about. It's nothing like that. Okay, next topic, same one I don't want to talk about. What's your current job? Again, don't want to talk about it, and the reason is, like, let's say, I used to work for US Airways, so I'll tell you that up front, and I don't anymore. Like, if I give opinions, or pro-gun opinions, or like anti-political leader opinions, US Airways doesn't want to be associated with a guy who's saying that in public if everyone knows he works for them. Does that make sense? So, don't really want to put my day job out there, so I won't do that. On to more fun topics. Peanut butter and jelly, chunky or creamy? Creamy. Where do you make all your videos? Is that private land or is it a public area? And the next one is your Mustang faster than a speeding bullet? Okay, so I make my videos currently on private land, and that land is a viewer's land. Actually, I put a message out when I moved recently to North Carolina saying, does anybody have any land in this area I could use? And I offered to compensate them. And I have excellent viewers, all of you. And one of you guys came through and said you could shoot on my land free of charge. So awesome, because if I didn't have that, really the channel wouldn't be where it is today. So I truly appreciate that, and that's where I shoot. My Mustang is not faster than a speeding bullet, no. But it is a GT, 5-speed. It's pretty fast. Top spare parts to keep on hand for your AK and AR to keep them running. For the AR, by far and away, bolts. By far and away. I've had 2 bolts shear off in my life on AR, so that's pretty much the only major part that you see break a lot. Definitely have a spare bolt. For your AK, recoil springs. Recoil springs wear out and you'll see a lot of damage to the rear of a trunnion. It really doesn't do anything, it's an AK, but that is a good way to tell that your spring is wearing down, is that. I'm going to take a break and get some water because I'm getting kind of hoarse, and I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Next one is Doritos, Cool Ranch or Nacho Cheese? Nacho Cheese, for sure. The next one is, what's your first time AK buyer's advice? Okay, broad overview, take a look at my Wasser inspection video. I'll put a link in here as well. That video applies to any kind of AK in terms of what you want to look for and how you want to inspect it. But overall advice is, it's just so broad. If possible, try to get a Comblock factory assembled rifle, especially if the rifle was assembled like 5 years ago or more. U.S. companies and manufacturing facilities are getting much better than they used to be at making the AKs. Generally speaking, again, they're a little bit behind. Obviously, that doesn't apply for like Krebs or Rifle Dynamics or AK USA. But some of them are a little bit behind, and some of them are actually ahead. But in general, if you get a Comblock built, Comblock factory built, like Cougar in Russia, Izhmash or whatever in Russia, any of those things, you're going to be good to go with your AK. So just, that's kind of a general rule, but there are exceptions to that rule. Baby Desert Eagle versus Beretta 92. Baby Desert Eagle. Better ergos in my opinion. Feels better in the hand. It's got that CZ slide integration. I really like it. That said, I like the 92 as well. It's just chunky and there are some downsides to it that I discussed in that video. How do you carry your EDC? Appendix or strong side? Generally, strong side. I have carried appendix, but I generally kind of go back to the 4 o'clock position. That's my personal preference. Okay. Also, my wife just got her CCW. Can you ask Mrs. Guns and Gear how she started carrying? I don't need to ask because I know. I was there. Before she met me, I had never shot a gun in her life and was kind of paranoid and scared of guns. And then when we started dating, obviously she came over to my house and she was a little freaked out. But as you guys can probably imagine what my house looks like in terms of guns. So, yeah, but she got used to it just being around me. And then, you know, she had some situations, I guess you could say, where she had wished she had had a gun. So we started working on it. And to this day, she really doesn't like pistols. So when you guys see her out there shooting pistols, a lot of times you'll see she flinches and she's not the best shot with pistols. She's pretty good with rifles, but she doesn't really like them, but she understands the advantage to them, and she generally carries her Glock 17 almost everywhere. So that's almost all of what she carries, and she does not, it says, does she carry extra mags? No, she doesn't. What do you think about the Bersa BP 9cc? Not much. I don't know much about it. I mean, I know what it is, but I've never used it. I would like some advice on upgrading my Glock 17. Looking for the simplest, cost-effective upgrade that would make a difference in performance. Okay, Glocks. The first thing you need to do whenever you get a Glock in my opinion, is change the sights out. If you have the plastic factory sights, they suck. It's the big downfall of Glock pistols. I kind of look at them as placeholders until you can get real sights. So, my opinion, change the sights out. You can get reasonably good sights. Even a fiber optic set is still much better, and you can get those for like 40 bucks if you look online for the deals. So, first thing you do to upgrade your Glock that will make a difference in performance is the sights. Change those suckers out. They suck. How and when did you fall in love with the AK platform? Which model was your first? So my first one was a Yugo underfolder, an M70 AB2, I believe, and I got it, I want to say, for like $350. It's just crazy when you think about it today. I loved it because it always ran, even though I did clean it because I still clean all my guns, even AKs. But it always ran no matter what with any kind of magazines I had in there, and loved it. It was more accurate than I was at the time, because I was a relatively new shooter when I got it. And great gun. I just hated the underfolding stock. I hated the cheek weld. It was terrible. Don't have it anymore. Toilet paper preference, over or under? Over. If you're going under, there's just no logic to that. It has to be over. It just makes sense. How do you shave your head? I shave my head. I use a Mach 3 just about every other day. That's pretty much it. For time's sake, guys, we're going to wrap it up, but I have more questions coming. Hopefully there'll be parts 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 down the road. But that's it. I hope I answered some of your questions. I hope I didn't bore you guys too much. I know some of you guys did, and you're going to click that dislike button, whoever you are. But that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll have more questions and answers coming out soon, and I hope to see you in the next video.